Okay, so again, welcome everyone. Who am I? I don't know if you guys actually know me. Most likely not. I'm Andre. I'm the campus manager for the PNB campus. I will also be the networking trainer for the networking part of the specialist groups for your system support guys. My system developer trainer that will handle the specialists, if we have any programming specialists, is Siatemba, but he's not here today. Unfortunately, he had to do some important personal stuff at home, so he couldn't join us. But I should have all the information needed to be able to answer all your questions. If not, we'll answer them through email, at a later stage as soon as I can get the info. Get that. So, why are we here? We are here for the Parent Specialist Information Evening. You're more than welcome to come and grab one of these. I just see there's a couple of people without them. This is just a little handout, a quick little summary of what we are going to be discussing today. For all the people online, I tried to put this in the chat. Unfortunately, I failed. So if you do need this, please just email us. And we will be able to forward it through to you. But it's just everything I'm going to chat about now. It's just so you can take it home and look at it and read at it, and do whatever you want to do with it. Okay, so what is Specialist Year? This meeting is designed to give us a clear understanding of what your child will experience during the Specialist Year at ITCA. Like I said earlier on, we've got 2 specialist classes, one for the system support personnel. So that's the child that did the networking, the cyber, that part of the course. And then we also have a system development specialist year, and those are for the programmers. So the people that did the Java and all those things. Even though I say Java, you didn't do Java. It's part of the specialist year. So you can sign up for any one of them. The specialist year is mainly to prepare the children for work.
Sorry, Andre, you're on mute.
Sorry about that, Steph. I didn't know I was on mute. Okay, cool. Let me start again then. I don't know why I was on mute. I didn't press the button. Hopefully everybody can hear me now. And I see here's Yolandi running to say that I'm on mute. Yes, I'm unmuted. So again, let me start again. Sorry about that, people online. So like I was saying, this meeting we're going to quickly go through to discuss the 2 types of specialist years that we have for the system support, the networking and cyber side of things, and the software development, which is the programming side of things. Like I was saying, this year is mainly for experience building plus specialization courses. So far, the first 2 years of your child's training has all been about introductory courses. These are the introductory things, not just introductory, also quite hectic stuff, but not specialization. It's all general. And in IT, there are 1,000 things you can do. You can go into 1,000 different fields. You can work with 1,000 different types of products. So how does the child knows, what do I like? Everybody said when they were 5, they wanted to be a doctor. And when they're 6, they wanted to be a fireman. And when they're 7, they wanted to be something else. Every year it's a different thing. How do they actually know what they like or not? So that's one thing that we also want to do and try and give the children during specialized years. What are some of these directions that you can go in your chosen field? Maybe you'll find a specialization that you really like. Maybe you'll find a specialization that you don't care about whatsoever. Then you know, okay, this is something that I'm not supposed to go in because I'm going to hate my life for the next 30 years if I do this. But I kind of love this, so now I know what direction I want to go in. Like I said, as well, specialist here is also to train the students a little bit on how to behave in a corporate environment. As we all know as parents, school and corporate environment is two completely different things. If your child behaves at work like they do at school, they'll get fired within the first couple of days, most likely. You know, with the bad chatting, and I know more than you, and you know nothing, and I know everything in the world, and, you know, there's no manners. And I'm not saying that, but that's what sometimes happens. So, again, I'm going to throw in a course in there, which we'll discuss in a little bit, which is going to train them in how to behave in a corporate environment. So we'll start with the system development stream, or area that we have. Like I said, the system development is for your programmers. The last couple of years, they've done a lot of programming languages. They've learned the basics on how to program apps. They've actually maybe even created a couple of applications themselves already. But the specialization here is going to concentrate more on, like I said, some different specialization fields. They're also going to be working on some portfolios. A portfolio, of course, is proof of your work. So when they go and apply for a job, they can give a link to the potential employer, and the employer can click on the link and they can go and look at what did this person actually has programmed. What have they done? What does the app look like? What features does it have? It helps quite a lot in that hiring process. So saying all of that, the system development specialist, the programmers as we call them for nice, short and sweet, is going to be doing 5 things next year, actually 6. One of them we don't really consider to be on its own because it's just a fundamental knowledge that needs to be known. So the specialist, programming specialist, is going to start off with something called GitHub. Parents will have no idea what GitHub is, or you might know what GitHub is. The programming students should know what GitHub is. GitHub is a repository, a place where I can go put my code, my applications, and it's publicly available. So you'll create your project, you'll create your app, you'll create your thing, whatever you need to do. You upload that code into GitHub, and that becomes your portfolio. So like I said, when you go apply for a job, you add your portfolio link, and any potential employer can just go click on the link, and they can see physical proof of the things that you've done. Your code that you've written, how does it work? How does it interact? Is it good? Is it bad? You know, all of those things. So it gives you that physical evidence. During the specialist year, the software guys will do 3 projects. One project is going to be a team-based project that all of the specialists will have to evolve in across all of our 4 or 3 branches, depending on who joins and who's in what branch. They will work together to design a big application. Because if you go into the programming field, especially the beginning part of your career, you are not going to be working alone. They're not going to give you an app and say, design this. There's going to be an app, and there's going to be 20 people that work on that app. Each one working on a specific section or a specific feature or a specific layout or a theme or whatever. And all of these people need to be able to collaborate, communicate with one another, see what code the other person is writing. Will that code work with my code, you know, and vice versa. So it's very important that you do at least one team-based activity during the year. The other 2 will be solo-based. So we'll give them a list of possible things that they can go and do. They'll choose one that they like, and they will go and code. It doesn't just mean that they have to go write the code. It's all about what do they want. They have to come and do an interview with a client, me, and I will tell them, this is what I want. I want it to do A, B, and C. It must look like D, E, and F. I must be able to do X, Y, and Z. And then they will go away, they'll start programming, we'll have constant reviews. Show me what you've done so far so I can see if you're still following my instructions. Is it still going to get to what I want? But most of the time, they're going to be on their own. Because again, that's programmers. Programming is a very weird discipline where an employer won't give you a working time. You don't work from 8 till 5. You work when you want to. Most programming companies are open 24/7. They don't have a closing date. The branch is always open. The office is always open. If you want to go start working at 10 o'clock at night, you go work at 10 o'clock at night until 4 o'clock in the morning. And then you go home. What programming people want is results. You need to do this in this amount of days. How you do it, it's your problem. Okay, I'm not going to look over your shoulder. I'm not going to give you, today you must do this, tomorrow you must do that. No, by this date, I need a working app. How you get there is your point. It's your problem. It's how you want to do it. So if you want to work for 3 days straight without sleeping, you do it. You know, they want that final results. So it's a lot less structured than the networking side of things. Okay, so we'll start with GitHub. The second course that we'll then do with the networking specialist, I keep on calling it networking specialist because I'm a networker. You know, the programming specialist, after they've done GitHub is only like a day or two. It's just a quick introduction. It's not a full-blown course. They'll then start with the first course. That course is from CompTIA. I don't know if the parents ever heard of CompTIA. CompTIA is one of the most recognized international qualifications provider. So far, CompTIA has been very big into the networking side of things. I'm pretty sure most parents might have heard about A+ and N+, you know, that kind of stuff. That's what CompTIA is known for. But the last couple of years, they've started going into programming side of things. So they will get a programming course, they'll go write an international exam that CompTIA backs, and of course that can be put onto a CV that most organizations will recognize. So the first CompTIA course that they do, like I said, is CompTIA Data Plus. It's a brand new course of CompTIA. It is called Data Analytics Fundamentals. Everything works on data. Everything works in databases. Think of your favorite social media app, TikTok, Instagram, for us older people, Facebook, because it's all the one that we know. Hey, we don't know the other ones. But it's a database. It's basically just a database full of data. Somebody needs to create that database. Somebody needs to keep that database updated. Somebody needs to write queries to get data out of the database, visualize data in the database. And that's what Data Plus will try and teach these students. You know, the basics of how to interpret, visualize, and use data effectively for your business and your software application. Once they know the basics of data and how to work with it, we then move on to a CompTIA Data Sys Plus exam, or Data System Administrator. So this is the next level up. This covers your database management concepts, from how to store data, how to query data, and how to optimize data. So this helped the students to develop something called a backend. A backend, again, for those people that don't know, is the stuff that runs in the background, the database. Facebook, you look at the front end, the app, and the pretty pictures that you can upload and all that kind of stuff, but all that stuff gets saved in the backend. That's the most important part, really, of the entire app, is that backend. So Data Sys Plus starts teaching them how to create a good, reliable, optimized backend that can last for decades with minimal workarounds. Then the third course that they will do is something called Linux Plus. Now the programmers that are here might be going, why am I trying to learn Linux? For those that don't know, Linux is an operating system like Windows. But unlike Windows, Linux is put onto the server, the big machine that offers all of these things. So most web apps or applications actually get deployed to Linux. So the programmer needs to know how to work with Linux. Linux commands, how to install applications, how to install services, how to install software, how to configure it. If you write your app, you have to publish it somewhere so that people can access it. 99% of the time, that thing will be published on Linux. So they have to know Linux commands. So we're not going to teach them how to fix Linux. We're going to teach them how to use Linux in their daily tasks. Once they're done with Linux, they then do their last major specialist class, which is Java. Not the coffee Java for the parents, but the programming language Java. Now Java, I'll say about 7 out of 10 things that you use in a daily life that's got to do with software is written in Java. Mobile apps, web-based applications, most websites, if you see pretty pictures or pretty moving things, it's Java or JavaScript. So Java is not something that we teach during the first 2 years. We teach them Python, which is another programming language. But Java is still one of those things that a lot of industries use. It is dying out slowly but surely, but it's going to be alive for the next decade, most likely. So it's still a very important language to know in the industrialized field of programming. So we're going to go through Java. The last course that the programmers will do is a course that the programmers and the networkers do. They actually combine into that one class. And that group or that class is called Workplace Essential Skills. It is actually an NQF level 4 aligned qualification. So they'll get another NQF, another local qualification, an NQF 4 this time. Workplace Essential Skills is literally going to teach you how to be at work, how to behave, how to dress, how to communicate, how to request, how to do things in the work environment. The shorthand for the course is the first 5 days at work. You know, what must I do on day 1? What must I do on day 2? What must I do on day 3? So on and so forth. But it's a lot more involved than that. So that's really going to be the course that will help to prep them to actually now be in a corporate environment. How to behave, how to dress, how to behave in a meeting. How to communicate with your managers, how to communicate with your colleagues, saying no, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it's really a practical experience class. So that's the programming side of things. 5 classes, GitHub, Data Plus, Data System Plus, Linux, and then we do the Workplace Essential Skills. Okay, any questions so far? No? Cool. Just looking at the chat, I don't see anybody in the chat. People in the chat, you're more than welcome to type a question out. Like I said, I've got somebody in the chat called Stephanie Krier. She's one of our management people that we have here, calling management people. She's the management person here. She will be answering as good as she can. If she can't answer, I'll look at the chat and I'll answer for her. Okay. So the other one that we're going to be doing, actually should talk about the career opportunities you can do with this specialist software course. So, some of the fields that you can go into is, of course, junior software developer. That most likely will be the first job or career that any programming person will go into. You're a junior programmer. So they give you small little things to work on. Not an entire project. You work on this button. You work on this page, you work on this form, but nothing else, you know. You start small and work your way up. You can also become a web or mobile app developer, which we can imagine is getting really big. Web-based applications is the new thing. Nobody installs applications anymore. You open up your browser, you type in, and there's your app that you can then use. So they're really going to concentrate on that. They're also going to become a database developer, like I said, working in the back end, not the front end of things. So the database, the queries, the tables, how are you going to save the data, how are you going to pull the data out of the database, all of those things. They can also become a data analyst or a system integrator, data analyst. Somebody gives you data and you write queries to pull important information out of that data and display it. As an example, I don't know if you guys ever seen, if you walk into a shopping center, sometimes there might be something right in front, but you come the next day and that product is not there anymore. You know, or there's another product in its place. You most likely have seen that, eh? Now, do you think the manager just wakes up one day and says, oh, I think I'm going to put the umbrellas by the front door today? No. They go look at all historical data and see that every Tuesday for the last 20 years, people buy milk. Okay, so what do? Every Tuesday, we put the milk right in front. So people can quickly get the milk or they can go. Or, some shopping centers do this. Every Tuesday, people buy milk. So what do? We're going to put the milk right at the back of the store. So that they have to walk through the entire store to get to the milk. Because as you walk and you go, oh, I need this. Oh, I need that. Oh, I need this. You came in for milk and you walk out with a full trolley full of food. That's data analysis. Really important job, as you can imagine, for companies, because it allows them to streamline the environment, put stuff out that people are going to use, not what people are not going to use. So that's data analyst. And then the last, okay, not the last one, but the last one that I have on my list is they can become a junior DevOps or a Linux application support engineer. Because they're going to do Linux, they can become an expert in Linux distributions, which a lot of programmers don't do. They can design the app, but they can't deploy it. They'll give it to somebody else to deploy and maintain. But with that Linux course, hopefully, they'll be able to deploy their own app and maintain and update their own app. Again, if you're working for a big company, that won't be your job. But if you're working for a small company or you're going to start your own company, you're going to need to do that kind of things. Freelance is always available for everybody. Even if you work, nothing stops you from working on something else in the evenings when you're not working for the man. You work for yourself. Hustle, hustle, hustle. It's the only way you make money these days in South Africa. Got to have that second hustle happening somewhere. Yeah, so that's the development side of things. Like I said, the other side of the coin is the network support personnel. Those are your networkers, your cybersecurity environments. So those are the people that build the network, maintain the network, configure the network, fix a PC. That's normally the person that is on the other side of the phone and you're at work and you pick up the phone and you say, my printer isn't working. Your support technician will come out and fix it for you. That's a kind of career you'll get if you don't really go into the specialist side of things. You will become really the first level, most likely you'll be a support technician. Not saying that you're stuck in that, there's a lot of opportunities available, but the most common one is a support technician. You'll start there and you work your way up. So we decided, cool, let's give them again some specialization fields. So they don't just have to be a support technician. They can be a technician for something a bit more advanced, something that's a bit more isolated, something that's a bit more obtainable if they have the right qualification. But because it's not just a general support technician, career opportunities are normally a little bit better, salary is normally a little bit higher because you are now specializing. So on this support side of things, they're going to be doing 3 classes. We are still considering if we want to add a 4th one. We most likely will add a 4th one. If we do add a 4th one, the price will not increase, don't worry. Okay, so it's a set price. If it's 3 or 4, 90% chance that we'll add another one in there. It's just a little bit too low. But for the moment, the support guys will first of all do something called CCNA or Cisco. Sorry, just here we go. Feel free to take that up. Right, you also want one. I've got another one over there for you as well. And you guys got one as well. Then I'm unfortunately out. We only were expecting 5 people. I've almost got a full classroom in front of me, which is good. I love it. It means there's a lot of interest. Okay, so like I said, the first course that the networking guys will do is Cisco. We call it CCNA, Cisco Certified Network Associate. It's an advanced networking course. They would have done CompTIA N+ during their year 1 and year 2 courses, where they would have written the N+ international exam, plus the A+, which is your introduction to A+, computers, N+, networks. CCNA takes that networking knowledge and adds a lot more on top of it. Add more advanced features like managing routers. A router is a device that sends the data to the internet and get the data from the internet. They also work or design on switches. Switches are the little components that you find in all networks that your PC plugs into. That thing is actually very complex. It's very intelligent. Somebody needs to manage, configure that switch device. So that's what Cisco teaches you. It's one of those qualifications that's very sought after in the IT industry. A lot of job offers says Cisco is a requirement, like A+ and N+. A lot of companies are now throwing Cisco on there as well. It's just something that you need to know. Also, I don't know if I should tell you this, but the Cisco exam is extremely expensive. At the moment, it's 5,500 rand to write the Cisco exam. A lot of people can't afford just to put that down and come and write. So again, part of your specialist year, you'll get to write that exam. Because I didn't really say this, but all these exams I'm talking about, of course, comes for free with the course fees that you pay. Hey, at least the first try. If you fail, then unfortunately you have to put your hand in your pocket or your parents' pockets and take out a couple of 100 rands and plop it down on the table to book for another exam. Hey? So hopefully to combat that, we do trial exams, boot weeks, to try and prep them for these international exams before they go right. Just like we do during the first year and the second year. There's really no difference there. So they start with Cisco, then they go on to something called AZ 104, or the Microsoft Azure Administration course. Now, what is Azure? We all know Word, Excel, PowerPoint from Office, from Microsoft. You might have heard about something called Microsoft 365, which is Microsoft's online environment for Teams, SharePoint, Word, Office, Outlook, the whole cadoodle. Now, all of that runs on top of something called Azure. So Azure is that fundamental basic layer for any type of cloud deployment. Instead of having a server in my office, I put that server in the cloud on Azure. Lots of improvements. It's available 24/7. It's available worldwide. You just need an internet connection, all that things. But somebody needs to create the machine. Somebody needs to manage the machine. Somebody needs to set up the connections of this machine can communicate to that machine, which can communicate to the public or can communicate only internally. All of that stuff has to be managed. That's where Azure comes into play. You might have heard about Amazon Web Services or AWS, depending on your field of work. Azure is equivalent to Amazon Web Services. It's just from Microsoft, not from Amazon. The nice thing is, it's the same stuff. So if you learn how to do it in Azure, you will also know how to do it in Amazon. The commands might be different. The tool might be different. But the underlying infrastructure is still the same. So it's very transferable to other types of environments. Then the third book that they'll do, at the moment the last one, like I said, I'm pretty sure we'll add another one in there, is CompTIA Cybersecurity Analyst. So that's your third specialization, is the cybersecurity way of doing things. Of course, cybersecurity is becoming very big nowadays. I don't think you can open up the newspaper or listen to the news or read the news every day without learning or reading that somebody got hacked. Some big company got hacked. This million passwords got released from this database, that kind of stuff. You hear it every day. In the UK, there's companies that have closed down because they got hacked. They couldn't continue working anymore because too much stuff was lost or removed or changed. So security is becoming a really big deal. So again, during their year 1 and year 2, they do learn about cybersecurity. They learn about Microsoft security and features, but it will concentrate more on the Microsoft side of things, where this cybersecurity analyst is more of a general, any cloud, any type of software, any type of environment security analyst. Meaning, you'll be taught how to sit, look at log files, and detect things that might have happened or that could happen. They're going to sit and scan their network to find vulnerabilities, try and fix those vulnerabilities. Or if a vulnerability has been exposed, meaning somebody has hacked you, those people will be able to detect that that has happened and implement improvements or implement safeguards to kick them out and that it doesn't happen again. It's a very intense course, the cybersecurity analyst course, because you're going to learn all of the basics of what is the most common attack types and what are the most common prevention method for these attack types. How do you detect these attacks? How do you manage these attacks? How do you prevent those types of attacks? So it's really the introduction to the security specialization. From there, you can go more advanced security classes and courses. And then really, because cybersecurity is so popular, companies are looking for security experts. They're looking for those people, to fill them out. Because they don't always want to pay another company to do their security. They want to do it themselves because they've got better control. So it's a very big growing field at the moment. So we're hoping that will give them the foot in the door. Yes, you're not going to become a hacker. Please don't ask me, Andre, teach me how to hack. A, you're too old. And B, no, that's illegal, hey? No, not really. If you want to become a hacker, you should have done it when you were 5 years old. Okay, that's what the good hackers, they've done it since they were 3, 4, 5 years old. They started learning about how things work. A hacker doesn't just do software. They'll take this thing, open it up, and see what chips are inside of it. The actual physical chip inside of it, because that chip might have a vulnerability that they can expose. Not the software, the hardware kind of things. So it's a very complicated field, hacking. Much easier to detect and prevent and kick them out. And that's what the cybersecurity analyst course is all about. And then the last thing that the networking guys will do, like I said, they will also do the Workplace Essential Skills program with the programmers. Okay, career opportunities for your cyber guys or your networking guys. Like we said, most common entry-level job, most common job that you'll start off with is your IT support technician. But that you really should only be for the first couple of years. Get that experience behind you, choose a specialization, and then your career takes off. You can also become a network admin. The network admin, or what we also sometimes call a system admin, that is this person that is control of the network. So they plan it, they design it, they don't maintain it, they will tell their technicians to go and maintain it and fix it and do whatever they need to do. So you're the boss, basically, of that network. Cloud support technician, another career opportunity. Because you're doing Azure, you can become a cloud-only technician. Not fixing the printer, fixing why you can't connect to your cloud machine, why you can't connect to your cloud app, that kind of information. Cybersecurity analyst, of course, because you learn cybersecurity. And lastly, what I have in here, IT infrastructure assistant. Basically a person that can help to set up and maintain your infrastructure. You guys got it? Yeah, come on in. You're a bit late though, unfortunately. We're almost done with the class, with the networking spiel. So closing remarks. No, don't really want to get to closing remarks as yet. How is the year going to work? It's a bit different between the networkers and the programmers. The networkers, they will actually go and work. We've got a couple of schools that we deal with Foot Tracker, Grace. If you're very, very, very good, I'll send you up to Hilton College and you can go and hoity-toity with all the very fancy rich people. Trust me, there's a couple of presidents' sons in Hilton at the moment and a couple of CEOs' children in Hilton College at the moment. You must go look at Hilton College. Oh, it's such a pretty place. Until you see the price. Then you turn around and walk away very quickly. Okay, for most of us. But yeah, so we've got a couple of schools, like I said, Foot Tracker, Grace, Hilton College, and a couple of other ones. So as a networker, you'll actually go and work. Every single morning, you'll wake up and you'll go to your school. From 8 o'clock until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll have a normal working day. They will give you work to do, tasks to do, whatever they want you to do. You're basically working for the school so that you can build your experience up. For the management side of things, for the technician side of things. Then, every second Monday of the year, both the networkers and the programmers will come into class and they will be taught the Workplace Essential Skills Program. So that's every single second Monday, unless classes comes up or we have to postpone that Monday. Then, the courses that you do, they're normally 1 week. So as the networkers are doing 3 courses at the moment, they'll come in for 3 other weeks, a whole week of training, like you've done during your year 1 and year 2. Get your module on Monday, by Friday we work through the book. Okay, we'll have a trial week or a boot camp week, again to try and prep them for the international exam. But when they're not here training for that week, or every second Monday, they're at work. Simple as that. Okay, get up in the morning, go to work, come back in the afternoon home. Get that corporate experience. This programmers, unfortunately, is a little bit different. Programmers, specifically companies that hire programmers, do not really like to hire interns or bring in new people that don't know anything. It's kind of simple because these guys are working on multi-million projects. An app that you develop could cost a company $500,000 very easily to develop an app for that company. Ask me, I've paid for that kind of stuff over the years. It's expensive. So they don't want somebody that knows nothing to start programming and maybe mess up that entire app that now puts them back 3 or 4 months. We are looking for places and we're holding thumbs that we might find 1 or 2 places that will take them in. But it doesn't really matter because of the projects that they're going to do. It's basically going to be work-based. But instead of working for another company, they'll come and work for me. We've got another company called Turnkey IT. That's a registered company. And they will work for Turnkey IT. So they'll get that 1-year experience working for a company. But I will be the client and I will give them the projects that they need to do throughout the year. Because they don't go to work, the programmers is also only in class every second week. So just like you're doing year 1 and 2, you'll come in for a week and you will work on your project, whatever project we gave you. It's your working hours. The second week, you're at home. Work on your project if you want to. Don't work on your project if you want to. Go get a part-time job, which is most likely what your parent will say. Hey, every second week you can go and work. Go become a waiter or go sweep the streets or whatever. Hey. But it will be only every second week that you'll be in class, in the college, not doing a class, working on your project. Week at home. But for those 4 weeks that they're doing the classes, again, they'll come in for the entire week to go through the module. Plus an exam week or a boot camp week to prep them. So they'll be in class for 4 weeks for training and 4 weeks for boot camp. The rest of the weeks will be on and off at work, at home. If we get some companies that will take some programming specialists, they will be like the networkers. They will go every day to work. They will work on stuff that they give them, plus work on the stuff that we give them. So then get double the amount of experience, hopefully. So there's a couple of companies that we're hoping to contact and we're hoping, but I can't promise anything because like I said, they're very, very picky programming companies of just hiring or taking anybody on board. They're very, very picky about that. Any questions so far? Yeah.
How much does the
Okay, pricing, I do not know. What we'll do is Yolandi will come down just now, and Yolandi will have the actual price. Okay, I don't want to give a price and then I'm wrong, because prices goes up and down, and they most likely have thought about something else or to add something else. It is plus minus about 50,000 Rand a year. Okay, for the entire year. Of course, payment plans can be made just like you do during year 1 and 2, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I'll ask you, Lani, to come down in a bit, or you can just ask her and she can give you the actual figures of exactly how much it is. I think it's the same between the networking and the programming side of things. Okay, but it's around there, plus minus. Any other questions so far? Yeah.
Do I really have to do all this in 1 year?
Yeah.
You know, Cisco, Azure AD.
It depends on, are you doing the programming side of things or the networking side of things? Networking. Then you're going to do the Cisco, the cybersecurity analyst, the AZ-104, and maybe a fourth one that we'll add on top of it. Yeah. But you won't touch the programming side of things unless you want to sign up to become a programming specialist as well. I've had a lot of students done that. They've gone through the networking field, year 1, year 2 specialist, and then they decide, cool, I like this. I also want to do the programming side of things. So then I come for programming year 1 and 2 and programming specialist at the same time. You're a very well-rounded person at that point in time. And really, you can apply for any job really out there. Networking, programming, it doesn't matter. You just throw your CV out everywhere. Those people are quite well. A lot of those people I found out actually goes overseas, like America, Germany, you know, because they got all of those qualifications. Not saying you need to do that. Okay, that's very expensive to come for both courses, right? And it's 6 years out of your life if you do that. Yes, at the back there.
Yeah, do we need to have in like a CV the moment you start a specialist?
No, specialist year is something that we will ask you to apply for. So soon, even right now, you can go to Yolandi, or you can ask your lecturer that you have if you want an application form. You'll then fill out the application form. Part of the application process is asking or writing a little essay for me. Why do you want to become a specialist? Because I don't just take all specialists. There's a limited number of seats that I have. They're quite big, but there's still a limit. So don't wait forever to come and apply, because then we might be filled up. Depends on how many businesses we have that we can give students to and give clients to. You know, if I don't have a company, I don't want to steal your money and I can't put you somewhere, because then I feel bad. You know, because you're paying all this money and I promise that you'll go and work and I can't put you somewhere. So we limit the number of specialists that we have. Number is quite big, so don't worry, there's always space. But if you wait too long, there might not be space. So you just ask for an application form, fill it out, give it to us, and we'll then have a look at it. Okay. Any other questions so far? No? Okay. Last thing, just conclusion. Your specialist year is designed to bridge the gap between your education and your actual physical employment. So whether your child is pursuing the development or support path, they will leave this program with industry recognized certifications. All the certificates that all the exams that they'll write are internationally backed. So they're not NQF level, except for the workplace essential skills. They're international exams. So the same exam that they write is the same exam that somebody in the Americas write. Same exam that somebody in Japan write. Same level of qualification. Okay, which means they can go anywhere in the world with those qualifications, and it will still work. A professional portfolio or work experience, and the confidence to take their first real steps into the IT industry. And that's my spiel. That's my sales pitch. Our specialist year is, like I said earlier on, it's very strict on what we do. As a lecturer, when I lecture you and my other programming lecturer, I will treat you as a staff member, because that's really what you are at the moment. You're working for me. I just give you to somebody else to work for them, but really, you're my employee. Which means I will shout at you, like a boss will. Okay? Bosses shout at the employees, yes? 99% of them They're quite angry at some point. So I will fire you on Friday because you messed up. But then I'll hire you back on Monday because you're still part of my class, eh? So I can't kick you out forever. But there will be times that we will butt heads. You know, I will tell you to do something and you just won't do it, or you'll do the wrong thing. You need to be reprimanded. Just like a real boss will reprimand a real employee. So you're going to learn that kind of stuff as well. But I'm not a shouty person. Trust me, I'm too old to shout. Shouting makes me tired. Gives me a headache. I don't like to do it. But sometimes I might, you know. Again, just to give you that experience. Okay. Or we have got any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, then I ask about the graduation. The graduation is second year on the
Graduation, if you come for specialist, you are allowed to come for graduation for your second year, and you can also come for graduation after your specialist year. Yeah, in the Hillcrest. I think we'll do all because Maritzburg and Durban campuses do graduation together. And Hillcrest is sort of like in the middle between Durban and Maritzburg. So nobody has to drive too far, you know, but graduation is normally February, March, around every year. If you finish 2 years and you're actually still doing specialist, come and graduate for your 2 years that you've done. And then you come back the next year when you finish your specialist to come and graduate as a specialist. Or you can decide to just graduate once, right at the end after you've done everything. Okay, so the choice is really yours. So if she comes for specialist, she can still graduate next year if she's done her second year. No problem whatsoever. So then just come do it for 2 graduations. 2 rounds of photos. Okay, I had a question on this side. Yeah.
Pardon me, sir. I know I can be late.
It's all good.
Coming from the Durban.
Oh, Durban. Okay, before you ask your question, Durban is going to have another evening quite soon. They own specialist evening. So maybe you can go to the Durban one.
No, but I live here, I work in Durban.
Ah, okay. Okay.
No, just one.
Yeah.
Short, I know I'm sorry, I don't meant to delay everyone. I just want to find out in terms of those who are doing cybercrime, that's also involving those two program networking and your community.
The cybersecurity analyst is more for the networking side of things. But as a programmer, you learn security implementation. So as you build the program, you build in the security at the same time. So yes, they also do security fields, but the program is not there to detect and hunt down the hacker. You know, they write the program so that the hacker can never hack it in the first place. So yeah, they also do a little bit of security, but that's just something that they do as part of all the courses that they do, is security fundamentals. Yeah. Hey, no problem. Any other questions that we have? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I know there are other students in here who have a job. Because you are considered a job in this case.
We do not guarantee jobs. Okay, no college can guarantee your child a position unless they all hire them themselves. It's just impossible. What we do is we've got a lot of companies that come to ask us, give us CVs. You know, give us people that you would recommend to come and apply for this position. And we do that a lot. So Yolandi's sitting there in a corner, she's in charge of all the students and the CVs and all that stuff. She's got a pile of CVs. So yeah, so you just make sure that your child always gives us an updated CV. You know, every year, every 6 months, whatever, send us a new one. So when we get these requests, we can give them current CVs. I'm not going to give them a CV of a child that's 3 years old, because they've done so much more in the meantime that CV is pointless. So the CV needs to be updated. I can though say though that 3 of my specialists this year for my networking guys, they actually failed specialists because they got a job. But because they got a job, they can't come to classes anymore. So officially they've failed, but they got a job. So yay. I think that's a good reason to fail your studies, eh? It's because you got an actual career. We've got one in Joburg, one in Cape Town. Where's the third one? I can't even remember.
I thought it was only 2.
Is it? No, there was 3 that left, wasn't it?
No, it was
Okay.
just 2.
Then I'm wrong. Then it's 2 people. Yeah, one in Joburg and one in Cape Town. That's sometimes they join, if they can, but you know, they're working, so. But yeah, I'm not going to fail them. It's just that they failed. So that happens quite a lot. Over the years, on average, we've got about a 90% employment rate for our specialists, you know, after the fact. Not us giving them a job, just then getting positions because of the skills that they have.
You wanted to know about the fees.
They wanted to know the
was
price.
50,000.
Was I right with 50,000? That's for both,
Yes.
either or. Okay, so yeah, so I wasn't 100% sure that my total might have gone up or down.
And what we also did this year, we offered that, and I'm sure we can ask again if we can do it, but that you only pay half this year and half next year. Although your child will not be here next year,
Yeah.
As long as you're prepared to sign the acknowledgement of debt.
I'm pretty sure we'll be happy to do that again this year as well.
So that's just to help you to, so in other words, you'll pay 25 this year and 25 next year. And hopefully by that time the children will have jobs by then so they can also help to start paying.
Yeah, and of course payment plans, monthly, you know, all that stuff. You guys should know that we are always very happy to help, to change, to whatever we can, you know, to help you out. So definitely as well for the specialist, yeah.
So we've got application forms, so if you want to take one and fill it in.
Yeah, well,
I printed 10, but if we run out of it, then we can always print some more. And I know that. Did you run out of that?
I ran out of
that.
I've ran out of them, but I've got them so we can email them to people if they want.
So if you don't get a form or you need a form or something like that, then just let us know and we'll email or you can come and fetch it. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. If there's no other questions, that's basically my sales pitch. So are we all good? I feel like I'm talking to my children. I call my clients my children. Any questions? We all good? No?
Andrea, did you mention anything about the kids or still have a few exams outstanding?
Oh no, I didn't mention anything about exams. Yes, you guys all know that year 1 and year 2, you're supposed to write international exams, eh? For those students sitting here, are your exams finished? Are they going to be finished before December? Okay. Because as part of the application process, any exam that you haven't written, you should write before you start your specialist year.
So you need to finish all your exams before.
As much as you possibly can. Again, remember I told you, specialist year's got set amount of people. So if I've got more people than what I have spaces, I'm going to start looking at how many exams have you written. And the person that's written all the exams, they'll get in. But if there's only person that's only written 1 exam, I'm going to look at it as like, you've had 2 years, you've written 1 exam. How are you going to write 4 exams in a year? You know, am I going to waste my time on you? Are you going to waste your parents' money for coming here and not doing anything? So the rule is not that you have to write all the exams, but the more you write, the higher you go up in the application process. Okay. So if you've got 2 or 3 exams still left outstanding, you better start planning to write them before we close in December, or come and finish them up in January. Okay, because you guys are also aware that your exams are only valid for a year, hey? Your voucher expires next year, February. That means that if you want to write it, you have to take your money out of your own pocket to come and write it. Okay. So please go write your exams. Start taking it seriously. Hopefully you only got 1 or 2 left. 1 more for this year, 1 beginning of next year. Okay. Any other questions? Yes. Like the 3rd week in January.
That's for the next week, because the program will start a little bit later.
I will start the programmers in January as well.
Right, I'm just saying.
Most likely we'll start in the networkers. They normally start really early because then they help setting up the college, you know, in preparation for the year. So they set up PCs, work networks, install software, you know, to get the computers ready. Then normally in February, Yolandi, end of March, end of January, February, we start giving them to the schools.
Yeah, at the end of end of Jan.
Yeah, end of Jan, you then go and work at your school place. For the programmers, we most likely will say you come start in Feb. You know, because that's when the other classes are all going to start. They're starting in Feb. So you've got January to relax and chill and do your exams and all that stuff. And then First week in February, we most likely will start officially with the class. And then that goes until we close in December, whatever that date might be, either the second or the third week in December.
The 3 students that didn't get forms, Steph is printing. Okay, we'll bring it down.
Okay, so we'll have some more forms lying around just now. Like I said, this little handout, you guys can just shoot us an email and we will send you one of them. Again, it's just a quick summary of what we've discussed here today, the classes and the courses. I only printed 10 because Yolandi said, I've got 5 people coming. It's a bit more than the 5 people that we thought might come, eh? Oh, I thought you wanted my jacket. Okay, looks like somebody had a question. They type in here, can you see there? Okay, we'll just wait and see what they ask.
Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, you can even just ask us. You don't even have to type.
Yeah, I just want to check. Is there any relationship that you have with the institutions for the students?
Yeah, like I said, for the networkers, we do have some relationship with some of the schools, the high schools in Maritzburg and surrounding areas. So that's where they go and work. Like I said, we are trying to get some relationships for some programming students, also to put them in for interns at an actual workplace. Not that my college is not a workplace, I still work and I will still hire you and I'll still give you a job to do, but it's a bit more harder. So yeah, so for the networkers, they'll go work for some of the major top schools in Maritzburg, really all the top schools in Maritzburg.
Okay. Another one is, after they finish their 2 years, after writing their 2 years, after they complete the specialization, which level of the NQF is after they are accredited with?
Well, they'll get the NQF 5 for their year 1 and 2. So they have that, plus all the international exams that they wrote and passed during their first 2 years. And then during the specialist year, they'll get an NQF 4 for the Workplace Essential Skills course, plus any of the international exams that they've written and passed during that year. So if they really do everything, they can walk away with about between 5 or 4 international exams, 9 exams between year 1, year 2, and specialist year. That's a lot of qualifications behind your name.
Or if the student did expert, then it will be obviously specialist year, second year.
Yeah, if they're doing experts.
I'm not sure who's the parent, whose mom is that? Who's your child? Mrs. Kamalu?
My child is Linda Longobese.
Linda. Okay, she's doing expert, so. No, didn't she? Was it your second year? Yes. It's your second year this year? Yes. Feels like you just started. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, so you can come and do this while she's here. So come do specialists next year.
Now,
yeah, so of course only the experts or the people that have done the second year can come and apply for specialists. You have to finish both years. If you're an expert, you used to do it in 1 year. But from next year, we're not going to have experts anymore. It's all going to be 2-year courses. Because the courses are getting so big, you can't squash them into 1 year. You have to put them over 2 years these days. Otherwise, I will kill your child if I do that course over 1 year. They will not like me at all, and there'll be a mental mess at the end of the year. So, I'm not that cruel. Any other questions? No? Okay. So, like I said, any questions, anything to do, just shoot us an email. I'm pretty sure most parents got all of our email details already. Yolandi, Steph, or Andre at ITCA. You can even send an email to info@ITCA, if you can't remember any of our names. And then any questions you ask, you want to have the handout, you would like the link for the video because you want to watch it again, because I will publish this video on YouTube. So if you want to watch it again, or you have another parent that couldn't be here today, tell them just to contact us and we'll send them the link that they can go and watch it. Even for the people that were a little bit late today, please send us an email and we will send you the link that you can go and watch the whole thing. And then come and ask us any questions that you want. We're always open. We always welcome you guys to come and chat to us. you should know by now, we're here to help. We'll do everything we can to help you in whichever way that we can. Be that finance, be that giving you extra time. That's who we are. We're not universities that give me your money and go away. I don't care about you. Give me your money, yes, but I still care about you. Okay, are we all good then? Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you very much, online people. Go enjoy your dinner.
Thank you.
Bye, online people. Okay, finally, it's quieter. So, online people, thank you very much for joining us. Hope you have a great evening. And like we said, any questions, any queries, just shoot us an email. Have a great evening. Enjoy your dinner. And have a great rest of your week. Thank you, everyone. Bye.